Here we are, week 7. Stardom, Sid'em, Bully here, Gully there. 1/3 of the way through the season. We are still alive in the guillotine. Cross our fingers, we can make it another week here, or maybe all the way to the end.
Right.
In order to do so, we'll need some advice, and that will be some quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, receivers, some Stardom, Sid'em, week 7. Gully, start her off.
All right. So my start of the week at QB, I'm going with kind of a no-brainer here. Jaden Daniels versus Dallas, which is one of the worst defenses in the league. Essentially, it's a no-brainer. But
Yeah.
if you got him, you got to start him. Guy you need to sit this week is Tua. Even though 2 weeks ago he had a good game, but he's playing a vaunted Cleveland defense. I think that this is going to be a very tough game for him. I think he's going to kind of regress to the mean, essentially like what he played with last week, where he only scored like a little over 8 points. So I think this is going to be a tough game for him. Got him in your lineup, I suggest maybe looking for somebody else.
Sure. Yeah. Definitely can agree on both of those aspects there. I also kind of have maybe a no-brainer for a start. Drake May against Tennessee. New England, they're 6th in the passing game right now. Drake May is looking pretty good. And I will say, so far, I was a little wrong about Drake May from our podcast last year. I had him ranked 7th out of our top 6 of the draft last year. I think I even put Joe Milton above him, but Drake May's looking 10 times better this year. And so I'm on the wagon. He's looking pretty good. Put him in your lineup. Sid'em, though, this one may be a little questionable because he is putting up some points. I have sit Jalen Hurts at Minnesota, not just because we're Minnesota homers, but Minnesota is actually 2nd in pass defense with 157 yards per game. Philly, I should have written it down. I'd already forgot. They were not looking good in the pass game so far at all this year. So if he's only going to get tush pushes, he might get some points. But if Minnesota can stop any type of goal line play, and or they actually use Barkley once in a while, then Jalen Hurts is going to be almost irrelevant with that. So I just don't like the matchup for them. So sure. I think that's just a game entirely, which we'll find out shortly here, to stay away from. Just in general, I don't like this game.
I would
at
agree.
All. So
yep, Philly's got a tough D. I think we got a tough D. It's I still think that Philly's gonna pull it out, but
they might. There's we'll some see. Big talks about Minnesota going on.
They've been having some offensive issues, so hopefully we can capitalize.
Yep.
But I digress.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and move on. My stardom for the week for running back is Judkins. He's ever since he came in, he's been toting the rock pretty well. I don't think you can go wrong with him this week. Miami has given up pretty decent yards to running backs. I think he's going to be a good play for you.
Not only that, but the weather is supposed to be just incredible amounts of wind, really? Like maybe up to 40-mile-an-hour winds, I've heard. So if the ball ain't traveling in the air, there might be a lot of running going on. So,
yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And we'll go with my sit-em for the week is going to be Pollard. Pollard has been fairly consistent this year, but since Tajay Spears has come back, he started to actually get below 50% for the team on carry. So I don't like his play this week. I think you should sit him. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't hate it. One league, I think I got Tajay on the bench. I had him on IR all season just to see if he comes back. So I'm kind of pulling for it, but we'll see what happens.
You son of a.
It was me. Um, my running back start is a little controversial, but I am going to go with Isaiah Pacheco. With Rashee Rice coming back, I think their passing game is going to expand a little bit more, and this is the game that Pacheco needs to have unless they're going to start making a trade or doing something else and finding a switcheroo at running back. They're playing the Raiders, who are 22nd points per game in the league, so they're going to be giving up some points. This could open up even some screen passes for Pacheco, so I do like the matchup overall. This could be a breakout game for him. It could be a bust, I know, but I feel it could be a breakout. My sit-em is going to be Cam Scattaboo at Denver. They're second in total defense, and that's with points and yards for all those weirdos that like to say one or the other. They're second in both, so you can't argue that. So I don't see the Giants pulling off some big scoring drives and big scoring plays against Denver. I think if they're going to win at all, it's going to be a very low scoring game. So I would just stay away from that for now.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I mean, not to mention Tyrone Tracy did come back last week, albeit he wasn't hardly a factor.
Right.
But it sounds like they're going to get him back worked into the game, and so that's just going to mean less work for Scatterbo.
Right.
So,
yep.
Anyways, the old running back by committee.
The old committee.
Yep. So my start of the week is going to be Odunze against the New Orleans defense, who's given up quite a bit of points per game to wide receivers. I think Caleb Williams is starting to come into his own a little bit here, and he's been doing pretty well. And Odunze, actually, the last couple games has been not that great, but I think he's going to get off the schneid this week against New Orleans.
Yeah, it's a really good matchup for him. I like that.
So, all right, so my sit-em for the week is Jacoby Myers. So going against KC's defense, they're pretty strong. Geno has not looked very good at all this year. Nothing like what he used to look like in Seattle. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I don't think that they got that much of a difference, with the offense. But, it is what it is. Maybe just Pete Carroll can't coach anymore. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, something's going on.
So I'd say sit him. There's got to be somebody else that you got out there that can produce a little bit better.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I will go with the stardom here. Cortland Sutton against the Giants, 25th against the pass. So I think this could be. Bo Nix has not looked super great this year. He doesn't look awful. And Cortland Sutton, I think, was top 5 in targets last year when Bo Nix was his quarterback. I'm not saying when they had someone else come in for a little bit, but the connection is there. This could be one of those games. I know I keep saying this could be, but legit, the matchup does favor Sutton quite a bit. So
sure.
I could see this being, 100 and a touchdown type of a game, which is exactly what you're looking for as a fantasy owner.
Yep.
Go back to our other game to stay away from in Minnesota. I would bench A.J. Brown. They're second against the pass, and Brown's only averaging 4 catches for 45 yards a game, and it's not looking any better right now. So,
no.
With those two, when you add Minnesota's defense and the lack of opportunities that Brown is getting, it's not a good equation that's going to work out in a favor of him getting some points. So,
yeah, exactly. I mean, so far this season, I mean, his 2 high games, he had a 19-point game and an 11-point game, but he's also had a 0-point game and a 1-point game.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I mean, the consistency is not there. Going against a tough D, I would sit him too.
Yep. Bring us home to tight ends.
All right. Well, I am going with Tucker Craft, Green Bay versus Arizona's defense.
Okay.
They're giving up a decent amount of points at tight ends, uh, and Arizona is a little bit beat up. Right? They've had how many running backs start for them so far this year? They just seem to get hurt. I don't think they're going to be very consistent, and I think Jordan Love's going to eat them up. He's going to be hitting Tucker Craft from all areas of the field.
I like it. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
all right. Last but not least, my sit-em for the week is Hunter Henry. Now, even though I know you have Drake May as your start of the week, I just think that the Titans defense they're only giving up well, I'm forgetting how many points per game, but the Titans are like ninth overall against tight ends. So I just think that at the end of the day, between the run game and the wide receiver play, I have a feeling that Hunter Henry is going to be the odd man out.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You know, if you're ninth against the tight ends, something else is going to open up. Still leaves opportunities for Drake May.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah,
Maybe,
that makes sense though. Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
This one, I wouldn't say is completely obvious, but I'm starting Sam Laporta against Tampa Bay, the 23rd in points per game on defense, which really doesn't seem like it considering their record. But they've had a lot of late-minute drives to get some wins, and the quality of those wins honestly might not be looking that strong. I'm a huge Baker fan, and I like what Tampa Bay is doing over there. They're I don't know what the word is of injuries right now, but they're hurting pretty bad. So I don't know what's going to be coming of this team in the future. Their schedule is going to be a little bit different. So, you know, they've been marking their territory. They've been coming through with adversity, but they're questionable to me. So, but on the flip side, with Detroit and Sam Laporta, I like what they're doing. And when I said it wasn't super obvious, is Laporta hasn't had a great season. So, and I don't think a lot of tight ends have either, though. So, I think this is still a game where, you know, Detroit can come in and win 35-20. So, it's very possible. Going back to Minnesota, we're gonna sit TJ Hawkinson. A game to stay away from. I was really meaning it too. I believe Carson Wentz is named the starter right now, but with him and JJ McCarthy and the offensive line issues and the lack of passing game that Minnesota has and the strength of Philadelphia's defense, that combination is one also to just, to me, stay away from. So that would be my sit there. We did with a couple of injuries that are going on. We did mention that we would provide you guys maybe a couple of sleeper options to either start this week or just pickups on the waiver wire. What other information, what kind of guys do you think people can target that might still be available in some of these people's leagues?
So I went through and I just went for who I thought were the top sleepers at at every position. So what I got here is I got Caleb Williams as my sleeper of the week. I think he's going to have a really good game versus New Orleans. Their defense just is maybe slightly better than Dallas's, but I think he's going to have a great game. Might even run one in, which I hope so because I'm not a huge DeAndre Swift fan. So. Anywho, what do you got?
Well, I'll give you two guys that I had targeted and I actually picked up in one of my leagues was Tez Johnson, wide receiver Bucks. You know, they've gone through Mike Evans, Chris Godwin's not coming back. Egbuka, however you say the guy's name, he's injured. And Sterling Shepard, it doesn't look to be what they needed anyone to become. And Tez Johnson's kind of that high risk, high reward, deep down threat, big play capability type of guy that he hasn't played as a true number one just yet, but he could have that opportunity right now this week. And if you really are looking for somebody, I mean, he's going to get the targets. So I do like that option. My second one that no one really knows of, and I really don't either, but I like the combination, was Jordan Whittington from the LA Rams. Now you're still going to have Devontae Adams and Puka when they're all full and healthy, but as far as when Puka is out, Tutu Atwell is questionable. And I think this Jordan Whittington is going to come into his own, and you know how Stafford can make anybody, a named guy.
For sure.
They had, was it Denard Robinson last year or 2 years ago? They had a couple of really low-level guys that were making waves, and I think Whittington could be one of those guys this year. So if you really are desperate, it's not a bad option. I wouldn't say it's a long-term play, but if you're, need a fill-in, he'll get some targets.
Agreed. My sleeper of the week for running backs, I decided to go with Woody Marks. I think, they had the bye week last week. The week before that, I kind of hyped him up. I thought he was going to be good. And it was not so much. I think this is the week he's going to redeem himself. I know a lot of people have been, obviously we're getting a bye week time, injury time. People have been dropping him. I'd say if he's available in your league, you need to pick him up at least to put on your bench, because I think he's going to prove everybody that he's a worthy starter. And then my sleeper of the week at wide receiver, it kind of goes against the grain compared to what you were saying about my guy Sterling Sharp here.
Sterling Shepard?
Yes. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Man, this guy, I'm telling you, loves this Sterling Sharp. I think that's 2 weeks in a
that's
row.
That's like the second time this season I've already done that.
We're gonna keep that trend going somehow. He's throwing jabs in here to try to get Sterling Sharp on the show.
I'm still surprised that he got into the Hall of Fame with his little playtime that he actually had. But I digress. Sterling Shepard, though, I think he is. I think he's a solid play. I mean, they literally could be without their 3 top wide receivers. There should be plenty of opportunities there, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think you can go off of necessarily last week's game and call him a dud. I think he's going to have decent opportunities. Always been fairly decent and produced in the past. So that's who I would go with if you're in a pinch. He's probably available in quite a few leagues, although some astute managers might have already swooped him up. But and then as far as tight end goes, I got Mason Taylor against Carolina. Carolina's been pretty weak against tight ends, and I think he's kind of becoming a go-to target for Fields there in Jets. So yeah, that's who my little sneaky start would be if you need somebody.
Okay, and I'm gonna bounce off your Tampa Bay idea too. Is Cade Otton is probably available as a tight end option, that if they're still maybe uncomfortable with either of the wide receivers we selected, tight ends are always a safety valve for quarterbacks, so that could be another option there too.
Yeah, I actually I was kind of torn between Taylor and Otton there, but
we got them both covered then.
Damn right.
And this week I decided to throw this into Chat GPT, and some of them might be obvious starters. I didn't go nitpick through on our criteria here. So on the stardom side for all 4 positions, we have from ChatGPT Matthew Stafford, Rashad White, George Pickens, and Sam Laporta. From our situm side, we have Trevor Lawrence, Zach Charbonnet, Stephon Diggs, which kind of surprised me, and TJ Hawkinson. Well, there we have it. Week 7 stardom situm. We'll come back for week 8 in a week. All right, how about that? And if you've watched this entire time and haven't followed, make sure you hit that follow, like, subscribe for us. Really helps out the channel, and we'll see you later.
Absolutely.